red2a, red class. It's a Monday morning. Today is March 7th. Anybody know March what? March 6th. We're looking at the part B's of the different segments to get some students scores that are even better than the ones they may already have. All right, so what am I trying to get to? I'm trying to get to this guy here. If I can back up to it. Less than, greater than, equal to. When things are not equal to each other, there is something called, because I like words a little bit, there's a thing called a privative prefix. Privative prefix. A privative prefix is something you put in front of something to make it the opposite. It's possible that you all will graduate high school. Let's put a privative prefix in front of it. If you don't come to class, it will be impossible that you will graduate high school. The privative prefix im changes whatever you had first, and it makes it just the opposite. We're all in here. We're all equal to each other. Everyone knows that. On one level, we're all equal to each other. Equal to each other. We put that in the privative prefix in that we are unequal to each other. And so when things are not equal, we call it an inequality. And these are the inequality symbols. Inequality signs. You can be greater than something. I'm greater than whatever. Look, the big ones open up to me. I know a long time in elementary school that the alligator opens up its mouth, or, they try to teach you that. Greater than symbol is that way. Greater than or equal to has a little extra equal sign on there. These, though, when we turn the page, is the part that I want you to have. Less than symbol, this is the one when I used to teach junior high math for 7 years, my first 7 years teaching. I taught at a traditional school. It was a Christian school in Los Angeles called Los Angeles Adventist Academy, which, by the way, this weekend I'm being honored along with my siblings as part of the Family of the Year. We did something apparently. We are Family of the Year. I don't know what I did, but I'll take it. I don't think there's any money involved. I'm pretty sad about that. All right, whatever. So this weekend is their alumni weekend for that school if you went there. So I went back to that. I actually taught at the school that I went to as an elementary student. In any case, less than is the one that I would teach students. Hey, why less than, Thomas? Because this is the one that looks like the capital letter L. So when a student is looking at this, and they always write down the word less than, you'll see the capital L looks just like it. That's the one I used to teach people, for students like, I can't figure out which is greater than less than. Well, let's start with that one. Be an expert at less than. If you're an expert at less than, automatically you're an expert at less than or equal to. It has an extra piece. It's either less than or greater than, so if it's not the one you're an expert at, it's the opposite guy. Now, for those who get this really good, all right, you're like, okay, whatever, I don't even need that. But there are always some students, and they have to pretend like they're not part of math, and they can't figure it out. All right, flip to the other side because this is the part that's going to help you too. Okay, part B'ers, and we all can be part B's in our lives at some point. Grab a highlighter. Let's see if we can highlight something. I want to highlight everything. For those who don't know, if you highlight everything, your brain is like, it's as if you can highlight anything. Highlighting is when something is a little different. Highlighting for, let's see, some of the keywords they'll use. Is more than, no, I don't want to highlight that. Is greater than, no, I don't want to highlight that. Is larger than, the above. I'm not going to highlight anything in that one. Only if I had to choose one, because again, it's these over here. Let's see if we have to choose one. It's greater than, it's larger than, above, more than, it's more than. Sure, we'll highlight is more than. You can, my thing won't highlight the way I want it to, so you can put yours all the way through on that guy. Let's see, will you highlight for me? Boom, yeah, there it is. All right, circle this guy here. I'd almost want you to choose a different color, but if it's too difficult to kind of switch around, then no stress on it. All right. For greater than or equal to, what are some of the words in a word problem that will come up? Let's see. Minimum. At least. Ooh, yeah. At least. Oh, please highlight at least. To not be in trouble at school month, you need to have at least 4 units turned in. Most of you know that. You need at least 4 units turned in. Another way of saying that is the number of units I need to turn in. I don't know how many you actually need to turn in, so I'll put an X, Xing down, I don't know why. Okay, the number of units you're going to turn in, they need to be at least 4. You need to turn at least 4 units. Do me a favor. Below this one, if this space should be right, turn in at least 4 units. at least 4 units. The questions we might ask is, have us write this down. I just want to make the connection between something you know for sure, you're not learning, you need to turn at least 4 units, and how a math person might write it. A person looks at x greater than or equal to 4 and they have no idea what that means. I know you know what that is. But you know you need to turn at least 4 units. Now let me ask this question. For the x, what are some actual amounts of units that you can turn in and not get in trouble? You turn in 8, that's good. There's no 8 on here, but he knows that because this thing is at least 4 units. What's another number that could be correct answer? Something different that you can turn it and not get in trouble. You can turn in 10. That's at least 4. What number can you not turn in based on this mathematical expression here? If you turn this in, you could get in trouble. 1, yeah, it's not at least 4. One of the problems is going to say you can get at least a certain amount of something. And when you write it as a math thing, you know that this symbol, the greater than or equal to, is at least. And the way I like to think of it is this way. If I were starting to write that thing, I always start with x equals 4. I can turn in 4 units and I'm good. How do I say I can do something greater than 4? I mean, it could be bigger than 4. Well, something bigger than 4, you just fix the top one. So you always start with an equal sign and then you fix the top one. Alright, movement, which is why this is going to take, I expect I'm going to be saying stuff for about an hour. And again, I know I'm using up brain power as I go along. Some people stayed up late last night, so you're already halfway asleep in your brain. At least if you're looking forward to listening to your live. And then the last 30 minutes is when you can try and mess around with stuff, unless I can finish earlier. Alright, here it comes. Is smaller than, is less than, blue. I'll put it smaller than. They don't usually use this guy a lot. It's the middle guy and his friend over here that they love to use. Let me see if I can highlight this guy here. I'll do a different color because of the power. It's smaller than. Again, it doesn't come up very much. And then from there, we will do the last one. The last one is going to be. Let's see. Last one. This guy's super important. Maximum, at most, not more than, is not greater than. At most is what they like. You were given $20 to spend. So at most, you can spend 20 bucks. Now you can do 19, 17, and save a little bit for later. But at most, you can spend 20 bucks. So I'll do this at most thing with units turn it in a school month. Anybody know what at most the number of units you turn it in a school month? Yeah, 10 is the max. No, it's actually 10. There's a whole special permission thing. But even with that, they don't let that out. So at most, you can turn in 10 units. So here's the way I do it. You can turn in equal to 10 units. But if that's at most, that means it has to be that or less than that. So what's the symbol for less, other than the fact that I'm looking like a bunny rabbit as I do this? What's the most? Alright, there it is. I put it in the top. I'll change the top. So you start with equal. Please no x equals 10. That's not scary. But it has to be at most 10. It can't be any more than that. That's the max. That's what you have here. They heard the words. Put in turn in at most 10 units. Turn in. And no, you can't turn the sheet in as one of your 6. Turn in at most 10 units. Now, some of you, as I build this, you will start to understand why Thomas decided not to teach us all along the way once he gave the assessments. You can see how much brain power is going to use up. The fact that when you got those pictures, the good, bad, in between, and some of you mix that up a little bit. Where's my potato chips? Good was the double shaded section. Double shaded section. If you remember these chips from last time, this is standard 4 for those who are here. Once you have that little X, good, which I should have used the real word in the other class. I kind of used you all a little bit. Because if you miss it, good, bad, in between, good, bad, in between. I should have said viable, not a solution, non-viable. Viable, not, that word not a solution, non-viable. Some people, they did, everybody got viable. Yeah, that's no big deal. Can you get it in red? They did viable when you get your thing today. If you miss in this section, this is mess you up. Viable is the good section. That's what you want. Then they did non-viable, but this is a not up here. Not is an empty. It's a white part. And then the non-viable. In the other class, I didn't use good, bad, in between that much. I did viable, non-viable, and in between. When you get your thing back, standard 4, this is an easy fixer. So if your standard 4 is the only thing that's broken, you're happy about that. Like we thought, Thomas. All right. So we got their chips. All right, let's see if we can build a couple of these 4s. This is standard 3 and standard 4, all wrapped up into one. Go to this sheet here, your friend right here. We'll look at 2 of them and see if we can build them. The good news is, you get to go straight to the computer to fill it in. You just have to build it. Before, they just gave it to you built. So let me see if we go up here. I'll mention the good, bad, in between, and then see if we can go from there. All right, Thomas. This is the part I'm nervous about. By the way, again, thank you for choosing to come to school today. You can choose not to. Or this is 14. Go to 14 first, and I'll try some of the others. But you decide, you know what? I'll get this thing done. All right, let me read some stuff. This one, now that we know greater than, less than, in between, we'll build that together. And then from there, we'll build it together. Okay, let's go from there. Yeah, I'm that teacher. You're about to get an hour and 15. An hour and 15. Yeah, I'm for that. Come on. Yeah. I'll try. If you're refusing it, then it'd be like, come on now. But if you're not, you're gonna try and it's like, yeah, come on now. Same thing. All right, grab a computer when you can. All right, so here we go. Let's read some of this. They built it for you. We're gonna build one of these. Now, here's some good news for those for whom math doesn't come just naturally. There's going to be a pattern. And let me say some of the pattern. When you feel some of the pattern, then go, oh, okay, I see that. There'll be 2 rows. Number 2. The top row will have less stuff in it than the bottom row. This is the pattern. The top row, they're all going to be talking about 2 different things. Pencils and markers, girls and boys, all those 2 things. Once you identify the 2 things they're going to talk about, usually they're going to say there are going to be at least 20 of these 2 things, or at least 15 of these 2 things. And your job will be to add the 2 things together and use the appropriate symbol. Now, when you do your test, this is going to go iffy. I'm thinking about letting you have that one sheet out. That does at most at least. I'm going to think about it. So for now, try and still put it in your brain because you may not get to use it. Let's read this problem and see if we can figure out where they think it's given. Again, top row, very little. Second row, usually they're talking about money. And some of the money is going to be connected to one of the letters, and the other money is going to be connected to the other letter. And basically, they're going to tell you have no more than $18 to spend. You have no more than $300 to spend. So for those who like patterns, first row, just stuff. How much of it do I have? Oh, I have 15 altogether. Add them together, nice and easy. Second row, how much does it all cost? Put the money connected to the letter, and now you got an ugly row. We're looking up. Ugly row for those who do patterns. Let's read it 3 times. See if you catch it. After 3 times, then I'm moving. After we move to this, we're going to be doing multiplication. So for those who can multiply, no big deal. We'll do some addition. Those who can add, no big deal. So this is the section that I'm nervous about. Good luck, here it comes. Did we mark on this? Not completely. All right. So with your highlighter, we're going to see if we can highlight some things that can kind of show what I did there. Or, you know. All right, there you go. All right, here. She wants to spend at most, in other words, no more than 10 units. At most, please highlight at most. She wants to spend at most $18. Okay. Highlighters are. Is there a line above this one? Okay, that's like normally they tell you the two things in there which I want to do. If I were me, how would I get there? I would click here and scroll down. Elizabeth needs to buy at least. Oh shoot! All right, so at least 15 highlighters. Go ahead, highlight your at least. 15 highlighters or dry erasers. So if you're doing anything with your highlighter, you would check mark some stuff. They're talking about, that's too big. They're talking about highlighters and dry erasers. So whenever you read these big paragraphs, first question you ask yourself, you're reading this, hey, what are the two things they're talking about? That's another two things they're talking about. And usually, I'm going to give them a letter. For those who are looking, trying to figure out, okay, where's he getting this from? It's on the sheet here, number 14. So if you're like, oh, where's he getting this from? This sheet here, number 14. Uh-huh. All right. One, two. All right. So we're identifying two things here, okay? Elizabeth needs to buy at least 15 highlighters. At least we know it's going to be there. As a matter of fact, let's put in the symbol for at least. Let me see. Let's start off with an equal sign. So do me a favor, put an equal sign above your at least. Because we're about to turn it into a greater than, less than thing. At least, that means it needs to be that amount or bigger. You need at least 4 units. So I need either 4 units or more than 4 units. This is at least. Go ahead and put in that symbol. This thing. So I probably am going to let you use that handout because I can see how the symbol thing is going to eat up your brain. So what is Thomas doing so far? He's marked what at least looks like. Let's mark what at most looks like. Hey Thomas, how am I going to remember what at most looks like? I have this handout, which I think I am going to let you use. Find what at most looks like. There's only 2 choices. Again, for units, you can only turn in at most 10 units. You can turn in 10, but to turn in 10 at most means the number you turn in has to be 10. It has to be less than 10. It has to be smaller than 10. At least, at most. If you want to write this down on the side, just so it can be on there for your brain, you can pause for a second, allow you to do that. Now again, we're going to do 3 of these. This is the first time we get to taste it. Okay. Kind of see what we're doing now. We identify the two items. There's a number connected to them, like I told them on the front row. The bottom row, they're going to start talking about money. Money's always money. So here it comes. She wants, and also with these paragraphs, you read through the first time just to know what they're talking about. I can understand it, and then the second time you read it is to break it down. So there we go. She wants to spend at most 18 bucks. Highlighters are 65. If it were me somehow, I don't know, with a pencil or with a highlighter, I would connect that the highlighters are going to get that 65 connected to it. They're connected. And dry erase markers are at 115. I'm just connecting stuff. I'm like a detective. Anybody want to go on law enforcement to become a detective? I didn't know anyone who did it. I think if you know someone, then you're like, oh, you guys like solving cases or whatever. Here comes. She wrote 2 inequalities and graphed them to show the various possibilities, possible combinations of highlighters and dry erase markers she can buy with her budget. Here's what they gave you. Let's imagine we were building it. Here's what we normally do if we were building it. The first item they give me, even though I could use the letter in its name to be what letters I'm going to use, the computer oftentimes only accepts X's and Y's. So if Thomas was building it, here's what it might look like if you were building it. Let's see, okay, so the first thing that comes to is going to be an X. She needs to buy highlighters and dry erasers. All right, highlighters, you guys came first. You get to be labeled X. Okay. Dry erase, you guys get to be named Y. This is if I were building it. Once I know that there are 2 things, I'll ask out loud, how many of these 2 things are they talking about? Oh, 15 of them. So I know initially my X, that first thing, plus that second thing, is going to wind up being, That first thing plus that second thing is going to wind up equaling the 15. First, second thing, take out a number. Because they said it's at least equal to sheet, and go, okay, I know it's not equal to. How do I write at least on my little sheet? Oh, it's at least 4 units. It has to be that or bigger. Hopefully you can feel your brain power going away right now, like he said it would. Release. Second row. The second row, the second row will always kind of mimic the first row. In other words, on the second row, you can automatically, for your second row, write down an x plus y. The h and the x and y, they boom, just fall down. We're going to get extra stuff added on to them. But the good news is, if you can get your top row, you can get your bottom row. What's being connected to the bottom row? What do they say is going to be connected with the highlighters? Oh, the 65. I put it and what do they say? Someone said this one out loud for me, so I'm not just about myself. What do they say is going to be connected to the second one, the erasers? 150. Now, this is kind of the hard part that we're doing right now. Getting these two rows. Why is this the hard part? Because those computers that you have, eventually, if you got these lines right, put it into the computer, it does all that shading, and now you have good, bad, in between. You have viable, not a solution, and non-viables. You have a picture. And really one of the most important parts of the picture is going to be right there where they crisscross. It turns out, I didn't talk about the lines, but the spot where they crisscross, it has everything in one. It has the two colors right there. So bad, good, and then in between. For these, what's the money amount that goes with these two? It says how much money we're maxing out. For the money part, is 18 bucks. And then again, I always start with equal. And then from there, what did it say for the other CA? I expect at most. At most. In other words, at most I could turn in is 10 units. That is, I could turn in 10 or something smaller than 10 because I can't go above 10. That's good. Let's say if you don't get all that. Okay, Thomas, let's say I don't get it all. What should I get? What's the most important part? This top row is really important. First piece plus the second piece equals a total. If I get that top part, I can just drop the two others down. And then start looking for money. If I start looking for money, like some of you did, you probably searching around your mama's purse last night, looking for money. All right, you gotta do that. From there, you attach the money that goes there with the money that goes there. That's just to wake two people up. I'm like, what? I know it's in my mama's purse. All right, then from there, you go there. Put the money back tonight. All right, first others. All right, so that's one, and notice what they have here. All right, let's build this 2 more times. The next 2 times I'm building, I'm dropping some people off. Because I used to ride the bus from 3rd grade to 12th grade to get to school about an hour to get to the school I went to. I lived in LA, went to school in Linwood, California. Got on Crenshaw, got off there on Imperial Road all the way past Watts, and then past. And so to do that, sometimes you have to get off the bus. So for some of you, it's your stuff. You're like, look, I have no idea what this is you're talking about right now. You can let it go. But watch the pattern. Let's go to another one that it's not done for us. Where is he? Number, who are you? Next guy in line, come on. 19, you ready? 19, and then we'll back up to 11. 19, 11, and that will be it for standards 4 and 3. Some of you ace standard 4. Good job, you did your back in between. Some of you are going to have to fix it. You did it in reverse. Go back and check that thing, and then eat it before. All right, here it comes. 18, 4, and whoever. 18, 4, and whoever. Did I say 18 and whoever? No, not more. All right. Look, 19, not built at all. I'm going to have you read it, believe it or not, on your own for a second. I'm going to have you try and put some letters down for a second. And money down for a second. So that when I'm doing it, you're like, did I get that? Or like, oh yeah. That's it. If I don't have you do that, you'll just be hearing word right. But if you try it for a second, you oftentimes person in the neighborhood before, they've seen this before, they remember this one before. So I'm not necessarily trying to teach as much as trying to guide something that you may have seen already before. Let me read. I'm reading through just the first time to hear it, so I can know, and then I'll ask you, hey, where do I put next? Where do I put Y? That kind of thing. Hey, Daniel and Justin are putting on a comedy show at a comedy club in LA. The club can seat at least, or rather, at most 200 people. I'm start marking stuff already. At most 200 people. It's $5 for student and adult. Okay, I know the two things that are involved in it. They're trying to raise at least $900. Let's see, money's good, so they can buy better sound equipment. Consider graphing to find the answers to the following question. All right. If I was marking something with X, what I mark with X? Anyone who might be able to guess it out loud? Student I marked with X. You're the first thing in line. What would be the Y? There are two things. The first thing is to be the second gets to be Y. If I write in that top row, it's going to be X plus Y equals what number? Right here, 900. 900 is close because it's money. He's bottom. I'm on top of right now, but see if I answer. 200. Yeah, no big deal. The only thing we've got to do now is change this sign to whatever the at most sign is. Let me see the at most. What's the at most sign? She points that way. At most, I max out. Let's see. The money's gonna be bigger than me at most. At most, I turn at most 10 units. So I have to be that amount or less. Alright, the good news is this top row actually doesn't feel weird. There's no money on the top row. Now, in real life, there are a variety of different problems where there could be money on the top row, but for your level, they give you the version where it's money versus no. Alright, bottom row, watch this, X, Y. How much money is connected to the X? That's not $5, I heard it. Someone different, how much money is connected to the Y? How much? And then what's the money amount? There's that 900 that was mentioned earlier. I'm going to start with the equal sign. Am I trying to get more than 900 or less? At least 900. I need at least a 900, have 901. I need at least. Don't go below that, otherwise we're out of business. At least, and here's the good news. Yeah, just the opposite. That's it. I don't know how you feel about it. We're going to build one more of these guys. Level 4. What's true about this is this the answer, Thomas? Did we finish it? Let me know. You'll punch this guy into the computer. He's going to do all the shading stuff for you. Level 4. On the actual test, don't you remember level 4? Standard 4, they just gave you the picture of this thing. So could you identify the pieces? From 1 to 3, to get a 3. Oh, yeah, I can identify which ones are viable, no negatives, not in the white section, non-viable, either side. Just choose a dot from either side. Okay. What are the constraints? You can't use negative numbers. You can't have negative students. You can't have, negative markers. The other thing technically you can't use is decimals. Because technically you can't have half a marker. I'm buying half a marker. You break that, can I buy the eraser? Like, I can't buy the eraser. All right, let's do one more of these, and then I'm going to let it go. This will be standard 3 and 4. In standard 3, they mess up a little bit. They say something like you can only you can buy 6 pieces. It's supposed to say something like you buy at least 6 pieces. So when I get to the assessment, someone remind me, hey, then we need to change the pieces to at least 6 pieces. On standard 3, at least 6 pieces. But, let's build one more. Go to number 11. Yes. Okay. Read that big paragraph on top. That should scare you. I just speak. Can I identify the two things we're talking about? Can I say who doesn't have money? Who does? And then from there, black or gray, and most of you did. All right, let me read this thing, see if I can build this thing on real fast, and then let it go. For a second, I was going to have you actually put it into the computer right now, but time is not going to allow. And again, if you've been here, if you've done the computer thing, then you should be okay. Here it comes. A treasurer of your church, a youth group, you decide to have enough money left over in the budget to throw a party. You have 200 to spend at most, because you don't have any more than that. So that's going to be an interesting way. They didn't say at most, but that's the max you have, 200. You decide to order cheeseburgers, combos, and double doubles. And somebody tell me what I'm going to put the X over, please. Cheeseburger, somebody different. Please tell me what I'm going to put the Y over. Yeah. See, there's a pattern than these big paragraphs that some students would be afraid to see and start reading. Become like, oh. So I just got to find what you think you're talking about? Yeah. Cheeseburger combos are 556. I know now what is connected to the cheeseburgers. The double doubles are 670. I know it's connected to them. You start to feel the pattern. Yeah, you got to do 3 or 4 in a row. But eventually, being good in math isn't always about just you're so smart. It's about seeing the pattern. Okay. I see the same thing over. Got it. Well, how did they know it's an X? I just chose an X. I could have chosen C for cheeseburgers and D for double doubles. But why they choose X and Y? I don't know, their fingers. So eventually, for those who want to be good at math, finding patterns is going to be your key. You want to order at least, just in my own pattern, my own mind. At first, I'm like, I'm telling which is which. Least, I'm going to go with the opposite. I think least is less than, but no, it's going to switch around. All right, top row. X plus Y is going to equal what? What's going to go with the top row? 200. Oh. Yeah. Is there a 20 other words? A 20. Oh, there it is. Now, the thing that could have helped me if I messed up on that is, wait a second, 200, that's money. Money can't go on the top row for these problems. Eventually, somewhere in math, they're going to be like, money goes on the top row, and then you're going to tell them, hey, look, my teacher told me money can't go on the top row. They'll say, who was your teacher? And you say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I refuse to incriminate myself. All right, just telling you not the answer. All right, that's the rule that says that you don't have to tell on yourself for those who don't know. All right, 20. Bottom row, X, the Y. Now here's what's sad. Let's say you're getting this sort of, technically you got a 1 in the section. Technically you're not, a 4 is not eligible. You're not eligible for a 4. Or is it 670 goes on the X? Or 670 goes on the Y? Oh, okay, 6 goes here. And the 570. Now my writing's not even good enough for whoever's watching this. Let me see if I can finish this. I'm about to leave this now. Just for the record, yes, I did use too much time. How much money is it? 200. Ooh, 670. Thank you. Now, what is it that he needs to put on here? Greater than, less than. You want to order at least 20. I would normally use at least than, but no, I'm doing the opposite. And I'm going to max out at the 200. How do you know it's at max? It didn't say you had at most 200. It said you had 200, so clearly that's at most. You don't have any more than that. Look at it for just about 15. But someone can still ask a question. Anybody want to ask something? Like, the 20's on the top row. Or, the 200's on the bottom row. Someone already has a picture on it. There it is. For those who have been here, let me just say it to them real fast. For those who are here and you missed it, let me say it to you real fast. They can ask for three possible answers. Three, and then what's the criteria? Viable, that's a good thing. Viable is just a special word for acceptable. What answers will do good? Then they do not. I think they do the not second. Good, bad. No, they do the in between second. That's what messed some people up. They didn't read. So since we did good, bad, in between, they did good, non, which is in between. And then they did not. Bad at the end. Bad. Especially with next one. When you go back and look at yours, especially if you got a 1 or if you got a 1, that's probably the only thing that made it 1 or 2. Viable. Any of the dots that are in the double shaded section are good. He's a possible answer. He's 10, 9. 10, 9 is a possible answer. He's viable. He's good. For our purposes, I think when you do some shading on these level 4s, they might even use this key point here. What are you, my friend? You're not even on the thing. But just know that that dot is a possibility. What's a non-viable? Anybody that's on the fringes. I'll do a non. How about you? How about you, 0, 10? And how about a not? Not is in the white section. How about you right here? How about you? Who are you? You're what? I can't even tell you, like a 2, 20. 2, 20. Good, bad, in between. Good, bad, in between. Can you use a negative? No, that's part of the constraints. When you talk about real world problems, no negative. No negative. Don't do it. All I'm leaving it. Look at it. Feel it. Love it. Want it. Okay. That's all the exercise I was saying. I want that recorded with the fire. Record that? Alright, never mind. Alright, here it goes. Is it 2? Is it plus 2? Plus 3? Yeah, get some negatives, make some students afraid. Oh, look at negatives. Yeah. That's the life you live. Alright, technically you'll have calculators or something like that. I do a 3x and a 4? Plus 4? Alright, so this is a big ugly problem. I'm going to do this super fast. It's just multiplying twice. This is standard 2. Let me say something about the part B of standard 2. Those who can hear it, you're good to go. Those who can't, don't stress on it. Most people got standard 2, except the adding, subtracting. Let's see if we can go to another page real fast. I'm trying to see if we can go to another page. Can I find it really fast? Someone turned to a page where they did minuses. In other words, they had a subtract like term. Some people missed this one. What page? Anybody? I had you put one below the other. So again, I heard 52. Let's see, 52, 74. I'm getting close. 52. Is it 52? Yeah. I see it now. Is that here? I'm going with a subtract. Is there one that has like a subtract in between it, or did I just make it up for you guys? 53. Yeah. This guy right here. It's just, I did my best, I think, to try and help people not mess up on this section. But people messed up on this section. I'll take a minute and 10 seconds to say it. 1. I'm slightly bothered, but whatever. They didn't even have it side by side, right? They like put it like below, so they started the problem off just like this. They had like this minus 3m squared plus 7m. And then this minus 6. So they didn't even have it side by side. You didn't have to pull it from here and put it down. Now some students, I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm not saying it. How do you feel? You got to get rid of this thing out here, right? You got to get rid of it. People are like, whatever. I don't even care. I'm just going to do the work inside, and I'm just going to ignore this. Yeah. But you got to change the sign on all of them. In other words, this row is going to disappear by changing the sign. What does it mean change the sign? Now you're negative 3m squared. No big deal. Now you're a negative 7m, no big deal. And now you're a plus 6. Some people didn't even write this part. No, I'm just keep the way it is. Other people, there's a change of sign. Alright, so here's the one. Some of you have to fix it. And you do this new thing. Now that you have the new blue row, now you can do the work. A positive 8 and negative 3 is a positive 5. Here comes the answer. I'm coming back to the real one. This is just me, because someone needs to fix it. Negative 7 and a negative 7 gives a negative 14. Hey, but I'm not good with positive negatives. Okay, you don't get this. Yeah, there's no other way around that. Like, you see the 2 or whatever. And then there's a 6 and a 6. Half a second. In other words, finish that part before you do it. Some people got close. I tried to circle what went wrong. Hopefully I can fix it. What was the official page I was on? 59. If anyone in here right now is going, okay, cool, this is going fast. Well, it's the adding subtract part that I want. The part that I'm going to do really fast right now. The people are going to do 4s. This is a tough section. Like there's a section where you're going to be like, no, I'm out. Alright, so here's what I'm going to say. Hey, how do I know that the answer to get to this is part of a closed set? A closed set. That's extremely BS. An appropriate answer would be something to the effect of, we're going to start with polynomials. In this case, I'm multiplying polynomials. That other page where I just added and subtracted, I added and subtracted those polynomials. So the rule is basically this. If I start with polynomials, and then my answer is also a polynomial, then it is a closed set. A closed set just says the things you began with is the same thing you end with. Okay, 2 humans get together to try and make a baby, and they make a baby, and it's a human, it's a closed set. If it was an alien movie, like when I was a kid, I came out as a lizard, that's not a closed set. It scared me. It's on channel 7. I didn't like it. It's called B, the final something. It came out of the stomach, it's scary. Alright, but the point I'm making is, it's not a closed set. Okay? If I start with one thing and end with that same thing, polynomial, it is a closed set. So I'm about to do a bunch of work here. Each one of these guys is called a polynomial. When I get my final answer, it's going to be a long polynomial. It is a closed set. Alright, here it comes. Good luck if you follow me. Which one's going to do first? The easy one's the hard ones? Here's what I'm going to do. Pretend like this guy isn't alive. Can I get a curtain? Curtain, please. Curtain, thank you. All right. So first I pretend he's not alive. I'm gonna do some foiling. Foiling is where I'm gonna do rainbows. The first guy will be red. I'm gonna multiply those guys, by the way. Now the second guy's gonna be blue. Now this foiling part for people who are true fours, this is no big deal to you. You remember this from a long time ago or whatever. If you look at this, you're like, I've seen it before. You don't worry about this problem. This one isn't for you. It's like some people like to drink Coca-Cola, some people drink Pepsi. Others drink Mountain Dew. That has nothing to do with anything. All right, here it comes. Red times red, blue times blue. Go, go, go. X times a 3x is a 3x squared. X times a 4 is just a 4x. Look at that. No big deal. This is the 4. Now this is the third problem on a 3. Here comes the blue stuff. 3 times a 3 is a negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9x. Negative 3 times a positive 4. Oops, this is a negative 12. Some people think, oh, this is not too bad. I can do this. Here comes the part that can get some here. Boom. Yeah. Now why the hell do you do it twice? I don't know. But they are. You put all these guys in parentheses. I could combine these so far, but I'm not. I'm just making it super long so that some kid will think they're doing a lot of hard work, but they're really not. I'm going to rainbow the X to hit everybody. Then I'm going to rainbow the 2 to hit everybody. I'll combine like terms. Wow, I got another point on the test. All right, run out of time. After this one, I go to standard 1, and I give it back to you. By that time, your brain should be empty. It's like a car. I'm going to let you borrow my car, but with no gas in it. And now you can't go anywhere. But that's what I have. Here we go. I'm going to make green and blue, green and black. Yeah, green and black. First one will be green. Those rainbows are distribution. I'm going to distribute the x. That's math talk for multiply times everybody in that row. Here we go. X times 3x is 3x cubed. X times a 4. Can someone say what that's going to be? 4x what? Squared. And that x times the 9 is going to be a 9x what? And then that x times the 12 is going to be a what? Numbers times letters. You can't do numbers. They just piece them together. Oh, shoot. I don't make space. What's you got to do with this one? With the 2, rather. 2 blue. I'll do 2 blue. And for those trying to keep up, it's true. It's not a big deal. All right, let's see if I can get this thing. 2 times the 3x squared. I'm going to try something here. Yeah. I need to put it after. Here it comes. 2 times the 3x, extra small, is going to be a 6x squared. The 2 times the 4, this would be 8x. Some of you feel like your glasses are getting smaller, it's true. The 2 times the 9, anybody know what 2 times 9 is? And then that 2 times the 12 is going to be what? It's just a super long problem. When I taught this originally, I just did the adding and subtracting. And some of you are cool, I like that. They're like, since I didn't teach this problem, the first you were adding and subtracting. So they like, forget the fact that parentheses mean multiply. I'm just going to put this one under this one and put this one under that one, and I'm going to add and subtract. Oh, that is sweet. You are trying. But no, it's wrong. So here's the deal. It's a super long multiplication problem. But the good news is, you still got the first 2, right? I mean, it's that third one. You didn't know what to say to that final question about, is the system closed? If it's closed, start with the polynomial and end with the polynomial. All right, I got to end this one. Here goes. Cubes. Final answer is in red. Any cubes over there? No, only 1 cube. Can't combine him with anybody because there aren't any x3s. How about x2s? I got a 4x2. I got a negative 9x2. I got a 6x2. I got 3 of those x2s. 4 to negative 9 is a negative 5. A 5 and a 6 is just a positive 1. I'm going to put that plus 1 for the x squared. Yeah, I'm in the 4 section and I'm running out. Try the x's times. Where are the x's? Let's see. I got a 12x. I see you. I got 8x. Shoot, it's an 18x. Those are big numbers. 12 minus, I got a negative 12 and I got an 8. That's going to be negative 12. -4, I heard it. Then I got that -18. Some people are like, look, I'm out on the negatives. Okay. -4 to -18? Yeah. When they're the same, when you add subtract, you just make it bigger. Like when they're different, you gotta kind of subtract them and keep the sign of the larger. Sorry. All right, that's a -20 who? 22. And then I'm left with just regular numbers. Where are your regular numbers? Only one. It's that 24 there. So with a little bit of time, I'm going to give you to work all of this. You're going to run out of time. Down to my last bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sweet, sweet way to catch that. Hopefully that's the time that you gave prize and catches the boom. There you go. I like these three big apples. All right, look at it. It's a big, ugly problem. Take most of your time. All right. Yeah, stress about this week. Too much. It's going to be too much. Just do it. Just do it. Job once anyway. Don't even think about that. You can have a force and have enough time. You're going to go fast. Let's do it your class. So. All right. And now the last thing I want to say to you. Hey, poor people. Which could be altered. You know, just hey, this thing here equal that thing up there is what's asking. Does this equal that? Are they the same? You have to do some work to show it. Right now, your computer's coming out if you put them on decimals. You have to show work so that you can get credit for saying yes or no. And here comes the work you're going to do. For some, I don't know if I'm a kid. Like who wants math to be easy, but it's not. They can multiply these little 2's in there. It turns into 4. B turns into 4. Oh, shoot, it's the same thing. No, it's not the same. Yeah. You got to do that thing we just did with ugly letters. In other words, anything squared means you rewrite that same thing twice. A squared plus B squared. A squared plus B squared. This is a 4. Takes a little bit of work. Second rainbows. It's not hard. And then from there, I'm going to say something about if I'm on 10, then I got to stop. So please hand it out. Break relax for 2 seconds. And dig into standard 4, standard 2, standard 1. Standard 4 for the people who really need to get a 4. Standard 2 for people messed up with the adding subtracting. Standard 1, these two, so that you could have done the part. Alright, hey Thomas, how do I show that these are either the same or not? Rainbow by rainbow, green and green. Rainbow by rainbow, blue is blue. Now, once I do 2 moves, you can almost see that it won't work, but I'll still do the 2 moves. A squared times A squared happens to be A to the 4th power. Oops, green first. A to the 4th power. When you multiply the same base of same letters, you just add the exponents. The A and the B gives me A squared and the B squared. See the green rainbows, no big deal. Here come the blue rainbows. I'm going to change the order around, but if you're 4, this shouldn't mess with you a lot. B squared times A squared. I'm going to write and erase really fast. Normally you put the first guy first, and the second guy second. But because of the same letters, you can actually turn them around. You can put them, they're commutative. They can switch the order. I'm going to switch the order so these 2 match in the middle. If that messes with you, let it go. All right, here comes A squared, B squared. That's the first blue, the B and the A. The second one is the B and the B. Aren't they supposed to be like 2's? When you multiply the same letter, you add their exponents. When you multiply different letters, you can't do nothing. Last piece. This one is done. It's done. I know we did so far. These middle terms, I got one of these A squared, B squared things, and I add another of these A squared, B squared things. That means I have 2 of these A squared, B squared things. Alright, beginning stays the same. I'm at the end of this one. The end stays the same. So I have enough time to even do hands on the 7. I got to do 1 more, and then that's it. So no, they're not the same. Based on my work is how you write things. For the first polynomial has 3 terms. It has 3. 1 term, 2 term, 3 terms. While the other one only has 2 terms. But you got to show something. I guess that could work, I guess. The only problem with that could be, what if you just chose the one that happened not to work? Maybe you just need one not to work in order for it. Yeah, I guess that's a possibility. I never thought of that. And they don't say. They just explain why. All right, here comes last piece, page 10. What do you want to say, page 10? You'll get 20 minutes with your thing. Hey, what if I'm not necessarily, what if I got a 1 in a section? Then technically your task today would be attempt to fix your 1 into a 2 or a 3. What if I got a 3 in a section? Could I go for 4? Yes. What if I got a 2 in a section? I would allow you to kind of fix, because it's only 2 if something's broken, and go for 4. I'm going to tell you to do standard 4, 3, 2 to 1 in that order. All right, here comes. I'm only doing one of these. We did some of these before. Is this one done on your paper? On somebody's? Oh, it's not. This one's not done. But here goes. Hey, Thomas, please factor this. How do you factor this? You have to write. There's a formula that says a squared plus minus b squared. Okay, you only have 3 minutes. If something is written in this form, where it's the first thing to the second power minus the second thing to the second power, the factor of this is factor. Factor always means to multiply. The factor of this thing is whatever they said a was, I have to write that twice. First guy, second guy, plus minus. Look at the b. B goes second. Whatever number is in the place of the b, just write it twice. And I always put plus minus. Alright. So Thomas, how does this help me with this? Please factor. Underline factor means to multiply. Which means this problem here is the minus sign. That part's good. Halfway there. How can I write 16 as something squared? Can someone say how to write 16 as something squared? 4 raised to the second power is 16. That was the easy one. Here comes the hard one. First, let me do it with just the number part. Everybody know how to write 36 as something squared? 6, that's sweet. Anybody know how to write x squared as something squared? It's just the x. It's tricky, it's weird. Letters, they're already kind of done for you. Now here's the beauty. Everything in this parenthesis represents a in the formula. Everything in this parenthesis represents b in the formula. So now all I'm going to do is AA, BB, plus minus. AA, BB, plus minus. What the heck is he talking about? A is a 6x. AA, I should have written different colors. AA. 4 is the B. BB. And then always plus minus. I just factored it. What do you mean just factored? I just wrote this original subtraction problem as a multiplication problem of 2 big ugly things. That is factored. And Thomas factored the number 6. Okay, 2 times 3. You just factored it. Anytime you write something as a multiplication problem, you are factored. Hey, is 2 a factor of 6? All they're asking is 2 a number that when you multiply times another number, it gives you 6? Yeah, 2 is a factor of 6. The way we usually ask it is, can 2 go into 6? Even. Yeah, it can. So, question here, and then I'm about to pass out those tests.